right, so this video is going to show you how to add an item to your Omeka collection. So obviously the first thing you'll be doing is doing some more research by finding images that are relevant to your exploration, your topic. Again, you can go through the Openverse search, you can go through the Wikimedia's Commons search, you can go directly to Flickr if you want to. Again, everything you use needs to be available through one of the Creative Commons licenses or through the public domain. Those two searches are the best way to do it. So here you just see me downloading an image that I found on Flickr through that Openverse search. I went directly to Flickr to get the actual details and information about it because I'm going to need all of that information when I start plugging this into Omeka. All right, so I'm going to go back to our Omeka server then. If you need to log in, you can just go to omeka.jtod.info/admin. It'll take you to the login page. Plug in your information. And again, once you're in the Omeka server on the back end, you can take a look at the collections. Right? Again, you'll see the one you've created with their edit button. You'll see other people's as well, but you won't have edit access to those. And you can see that you've got nothing in your collection right now. This is the details you set up as you were setting up the collection. And now I'm going to click on items from that left-hand menu. Again, you'll see all of the items that have been loaded into Omeka by other people. I'm going to go ahead and click on add an item. It's a little weird, but jump over to the Files tab first and go ahead and actually upload your image. I can't tell you how many times I've done this where I've plugged in all the information and I've actually forgotten to attach the image. So I'd recommend to go ahead and do that first. It can be any image format. If you're using an image, make sure you mark it as public and make sure you tell it to put your image, your item into your collection. Don't click add an item yet. You've got some more to do. Step back and go to the item type metadata tab. And if you're uploading an image, select still image. If you're doing something else, that's fine. Most of you are just going to do photographs. Still image. Under original format, go ahead and put photograph. And then most likely, unless you've been provided with this information, just put unknown for physical dimensions because we don't know what the original image was, what size it was. All right, now this Dublin core is going to look a little familiar because you did this for the collections already. Give your item, your media item, a useful title. Don't just call it something generic. Make it stand out from all the other ones you're going to put in here. Go ahead and give it a thorough description as well. Again, we've seen how useful those thorough descriptions can be. Make sure it's clearly written, make sure it's concise, but make sure it's also useful information. You can jump back around and look at some of this stuff if you need to. So that's why staying on Flickr, if you download something from Flickr, is really useful. Be real careful not to download images and then forget where you got them from because you're just going to have to backtrack. So for creator, make sure you put whoever it was that actually took the photograph and uploaded it to Flickr or wherever they put it. Under publisher, again, put it where it's being hosted online. So if it's being hosted through Flickr, go ahead and do that. Openverse does not host these things. It just links to these other sites like Flickr or Wikimedia Commons. So make sure you kind of track down where the image is actually being hosted online. And put that as the publisher. For date, make sure you put the date that they've provided when they took this photograph and uploaded it to Flickr or wherever. Under contributor, this is going to be your name because you're creating this item in our collection, our exhibit. And then for the license, make sure you represent the license that they have, the creators have shared this media through. This is not the license you want to use. This is the license they have designated. So, again, put it in that format. Title, by, creator is licensed under, and then the license. So this one, I copied the title just as they entered it. I copied their names just as they entered it. Make sure I spell their name correctly. And then I'm going to put is licensed under. And in this case, it is CCBY SA 2.0. Oh, and I got that wrong. Right. Again, make sure you get the one that they want you to use. Right? So this is actually being done under the non-commercial, right? So we can use this because we're not making any money off of this exhibit. Again, remember with the attribution, with the rights statement, I want you to link back to all of these things. This is an important piece of this. So follow these steps to create these links. Use the HTML option. Put the URL in there. Select new window for target. That'll open it up in a separate window or tab. Create a link to the original file that you downloaded, the page on Flickr or Wikimedia or wherever. Again, put the URL in there, set the target to new window, and then create a link to the creator's profile or account page, right? So in Flickr, they've got their own page, right? In Wikimedia Commons, they'll have their own user page. Whatever the case may be, create that link so that if somebody's interested in this, they can contact the original creator. And again, remember the rest of these we're not going to worry too much about right now. So I've marked those as just do not use this field. Once you've got all that done to your satisfaction, and again, you can make changes, switch over to the tags and plug in some keywords that you think would be useful for people to use in terms of finding these images. Remember, keywords are a little bit different than titles. Right? Keywords are individual words or sometimes phrases that would allow people to collect different media, in this case, that might not otherwise be linked together. All right, go ahead and click on Add Item, and you'll see it there in the list of items. Again, you'll see that you've got edit and delete power over that item that other people don't. And then you can go back to your collection and just double check and make sure you've done things correctly. If you go to that and then click on View Public Page, you will actually see the final version so far of your collection, and you'll see that you've now added your first item to that collection. You can double check just to see that everything looks good. You can see how all those Dublin Core metadata tags are displayed. And you can even see the citation that someone would use down at the bottom there if they use this in some sort of research project.